Characteristics of dicot and monocot stem and root. Now we are going to tell you how you can actually have a practical experience of sectioning and staining, right? Why we do sectioning and staining? We do sectioning and staining so that actually we can have a view at the anatomy of these structures, that is dicot and monocot, stem and root. This anatomy is the internal structure. So we have two types of sections that we can have. One is the TS. TS means a transverse section, okay, a transverse section. And we also have LS, that is a longitudinal section, okay. So it is a longitudinal section. So what is the difference between the two? When I ask you to have this material, that is a stem and a root, if I ask you to have a TS, a transverse section, I mean we are going to have a section from this plane. If I have a blade in my hand and this is how the material is, you are going to have a section from this plane. So this is the transverse section. When we talk about the LS or the longitudinal section, it means we are going to have a section like this at the longitudinal plane. So this is the transverse section. This is how the plane looks like for transverse section. This is how you are going to cut a section. In terms of longitudinal section, you are going to have a section like this, longitudinal, okay. So we will be discussing the sectioning and staining techniques so that you can have a practical hand-on experience which is actually going to help you all to actually analyze of how the tissues are arranged in case of dicot and monocot, stem and root. So when you go into your labs, you should know how in the labs you actually have this study of anatomy, that is the internal structure, that is this arrangement of tissues in case of monocot, stem and dicot, root, right. So now we are going to start with this, and we'll also have a view of how the structure actually look under a microscope and how we are going to analyze the characteristics of this dicot and monocot, stem and root. So let us start with this. As you all know that the plant body is made of different types of tissues, and here we are going to talk about the tissues that are there in case of stem and in case of the root, okay. They are designed differently, they are arranged differently, and this arrangement we are going to study. So when we talk about this sectioning, you need to have very thin sections, right, and you also need to stain them. So first sectioning and then staining. The section should be thin. Why thin? So that when you see it under microscope, the light is actually uniformly passing through this section. Then you need to stain it so that all the cells or the tissues that are arranged are visible to you. When you want stain, it will be very transparent, you will not be able to see it. So let us see how can you actually perform this. What are the materials required? You need freshly plucked sunflower stems and maize stem, then sunflower root and maize root, okay. These are the materials we are going to have. Then you need a blade, then you need a microscope, a compound one, a glass slides, cover slips, petri plate containing water, then saffron in solution, then you need to have glycerine, after this a brush, a needle, then some filter papers and a dropper. What is the procedure for this? You are going to take this freshly plucked material, just take a blade in your another hand, you are going to have very thin section. Please clean the blade in water first. What you are going to have, you see how this section is being cut. You are going to hold this in your hand and just cut very thin sections and cut many sections as you can, so that you can have one of the sections which is actually very accurate and very clear. So with the help of a brush, take this section out and put it on a glass slide like this as you see here. After this, you are going to put the saffron solution which is going to stain this section. You can also, after putting this solution, give a standstill time for a few seconds and remove the extra stain with the help of a filter paper. When you have removed it, put a drop of glycerine and then put a cover slip with the help of a needle. After this, you are simply going to remove extra glycerine with the help of filter paper. Then you can do this for all other materials you have, the same procedure, the same protocol, right. After this, you will have to view these slides under microscope. Now let us see what are you going to see when you view it under microscope, what are your observations. First let us discuss about the dicot stem. In case of dicot stem, the outermost layer is of parenchymatous cell, which is known as epidermis, as you all have studied earlier also. Then we have a few layers of sclerenchymatous cell, which forms the hypodermis. After this hypodermis, we have this parenchyma cells again, which form the cortex. And after this cortex, we have a single layer of cells, which are parenchymatous obviously, which are known as endodermis. They form the endodermis layer, I mean to say. Then we have vascular bundles. These vascular bundles are composed of xylem and phloem, and they are wedge shaped. So this vascular bundle are composed of xylem and phloem and wedge shaped, and when you see the whole look, they are actually arranged in the form of a ring like structure in case of a dicot stem, and you have central pith also in this case, dicot stem. Then we talk about monocot stem. Here the difference is you will see these scattered vascular bundles. In that case we had a ring structure, but here you have scattered vascular bundles, scattered xylem and phloem, scattered vascular bundles you will see. Then we have certain ground tissue also, right? We have the first layer is epidermis only, and then again when you talk about this monocot stem, you have hypodermis also, similar to that we have discussed earlier, but the difference is the case of this scattered vascular tissue and the ground tissue. Moving on to dicot root, the dicot root looks like this. You know, first layer is obviously again the epidermis, and after epidermis we have cortex, which is formed of parenchymatous cells, and it has intercellular spaces also between the cells. Then we have an endodermis layer, and inside this endodermis, after this we have this radially arranged vascular bundles, and they are less than 6 in number. So here we can see alternate vascular bundles, alternate phloem and alternate xylem. They are arranged then in a radial symmetry. So this is how vascular bundles are there in case of a dicot root. Now let's move on to a monocot root. In case of a monocot root, as you all can see, the outermost layer definitely is going to be the epidermis. In the center you are going to see pith. Okay, this is the pith in the center, and the vascular bundles will be more in number. They are 8 over here, right? So they will be more than 8 also. So xylem and phloem are arranged alternatively, radial symmetry. First layer is obviously epidermis. Then you also have this cortex. After epidermis, you have endodermis also, and inside this you will see this radially arranged xylem and phloem vascular bundles, and they are more in number. This is the difference between a dicot root and a monocot root, as you can see in the structures. Now, after having a clear idea about all this, what are the precautions you need to take? Firstly, dip the top of the material and blade in water before cutting the section. Then brush should be used while handling the section, don't use your hands. Then remove extra glycerin with filter paper. So removal of this extra glycerin is also very important when you do this sectioning and staining technique to understand the anatomy of dicot and monocot stem and root. So this is how I have given you some practical knowledge of how you are going to have the section cutting of this monocot and dicot stem and root. So whenever you go in your labs, just visualize what you have seen here. When you have a visualization of what you have seen, you can actually prepare yourself to understand how you are going to have this section. Very thin section, they should be uniform and they should be properly stained, so that you can have a very clear and a perfect view of this anatomy of dicot and monocot stem and root, right? I hope this is now very clear to you. When you go into lab, please do practice.